All right, welcome back to Redneck Rantings. It is Thursday, March 28th. We got us a brand new rant. I'm actually going to do a couple of these back to back, so the next one or two of these that you see is going to be wearing literally the same exact clothes because I'm just going to do them back to back because I ain't going to be home tomorrow night. What I want to talk about now was inspired by a conversation I got into on the internet a couple of days back. Somebody put forth the question, is it acceptable for men to hit women back? Keyword, back. Now, before we get into this, let me be clear about something. I don't hold with domestic violence. I've mentioned that I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and the reason I have it is because I grew up in a very, very domestically violent home where my dad thought it was acceptable to knock my mom around, and I hold men who take out their bad temper on their women physically in extreme contempt. However, there's a difference, and I want to make this clear, okay? There's a difference between you have a bad day and your boss was a jerk, you got a flat tire, etc., and all this other stuff, you spilled coffee on your lap, you got a parking ticket, and all this rough stuff happens, and you come home and you're just in the mood, and your wife's there, and rather than be a man and just handle your business, you go and put hands on your woman. I don't hold with that. I don't agree with that at all. If you do that, you are a coward and a weakling and a punk. As men, it is our place to put ourselves in between our women and children and harm's way and say, yeah, you really don't want any of this, man. It'll be a lot better for everybody involved if you just go over there and do you and not bother these people behind me. And then neither of us has to have a bad day because, brother, you're going to have one. Okay, that is what we are here for societally, evolutionarily. However, there's a difference between that and a woman putting hands on you. All right? Now, I have been married. I'm on my second marriage now. And at the time, I genuinely loved my first wife. I was not a very good husband to her. I was actually a pretty bad husband. I never struck her. Never put hands on her. Have not ever put hands on my current wife either, as evidenced by the fact that I'm still alive. But I do understand that when you are in a relationship with somebody, there are times when however much you may love them, they just piss you off. Words get said. You get on each other's nerves. I get it. It's not acceptable for either party to put hands on the other. If she's running her mouth, if she's being a bitch, walk away. But ladies, and this applies whether it's between you and your paramour or you and just some guy out on the street, like at a club or at a bus stop or at, like, say, a restaurant or wherever, all right? If you put your hands on another person without them hitting you first, guess what? All you are is somebody physically assaulting somebody else, and the person you're putting your hands on has every right to hit your ass back. Now, guys, I'm not saying that if a woman hits you, you should just pound her into the ground like a tent peg. It is a slightly different set of rules between men and, when it's a guy versus a guy and a woman versus a guy. If a woman puts hands on you, use enough force to neutralize the threat, and then you back off. If a guy wants to fight you, hey, what happens, happens, man. You get what you get, brother. But ladies, do not think that just because you have these and one of those, and believe me, we really like those, just because you have those things does not give you a free pass to knock us around. And you see this bullshit all the time. You see all these social experiment videos where a guy where a guy puts hands on a girl, and all of a sudden he gets rat packed by the bystanders. But then the same exact couple goes and they play out the same scenario, same words, same everything, only the girl hits the guy and people laugh about it and cheer her on. That ain't fucking cool. All right? If you do not want to be hit, do not hit other people. And the fact that you're female does not mean that the guy doesn't get to hit you. All right? He has the right to defend himself. And I'm going to get back to the domestic violence thing. 40% of all domestic violence victims in the United States are male. That means men getting knocked around by their women. Out on the street, I don't have the specific stats, but you see this bullshit where women think that because guys are taught, well, don't hit a girl, they can slap you, they can punch you, they can kick you, and nothing's going to happen. Ladies, it don't work that way. Men have the right to defend themselves, and if you go and you strike somebody and they hit you back, you have no right to be surprised. You have no right to cry. You have no right to say, well, he shouldn't have done that. I'm a girl or I'm a woman. You know what? You shouldn't have given him a reason to defend himself. I've talked to people who say you should be the better man and walk away. Bullshit. Being the better man and walking away is two things. First off, it is best manifested by a woman running her mouth and saying things that if a guy said them, he'd knock their ass out. There are things that man to man, if you say to one another, it's understood, now we have to fight. If a woman says those things, and guys, seriously, I don't care if she calls your mother a cunt, I don't care if she gives you a minute-by-minute description of the amazing sex that she had with your best friend in your bed on your birthday, walk your ass away. If she's being a bitch, walk away. I don't care if it's your girlfriend, I don't care if it's some bitch on the corner. All right? That's being the better man. So that's one of the two things that being the better person is. The other thing that being the better person is bullshit bully speak and bully apologist speak to encourage people to permit themselves to be victimized, because that is what you are. If somebody assaults you and you do not defend yourself, you are a victim. And there's no nobility in victimhood. I don't know where we got this nonsense idea that there's social currency or nobility in being a victim. There isn't, okay? I have been a victim at various parts of my life. I can assure you that there was nothing personally elevating about it. So quit saying that a person who is attacked, who is physically assaulted, should be the better person and allow themselves to be punched and kicked and slapped and have their hair pulled, all of which have happened to me at various times. And I'm not bragging to say, when I say that I have defended myself, because for a while I did ascribe to that, and then one day I'm like, wait a minute, this bitch is an adult, I'm an adult, she hit me first. Doesn't work that way. No, you don't get a pass. I realize that this may not be a popular opinion, and I don't really care. I have been a big believer in equality of opportunity for the sexes for as long as I can remember. I have never questioned that men and women are and rightly should be social equals. We should have the same rights under the law regardless of our personal plumbing. Just like gay people should have the same rights under the law as straight people. Just like black people should have the same rights under the law as white people. But you know what? Equality under the law means equality of consequence. And equality of consequence means that you get what everybody else gets for the same exact fucking thing. So if my loudmouth, bloviating, alcohol, semi-dependent ass decides to go out and pick some random dude and knock him about the head, and he hauls back and puts me on my pasty white Irish ass, that's a consequence. If a woman comes up and puts hands on the same guy, fucking camera, sorry about that, and he puts her on her bitchy little ass, That's equality of consequence. And if you don't want equality of consequence, then you don't really want equality, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that simple. So, in summation, touch not lest ye be touched. If you don't want to get hit by other people, do not hit other people first. Guys, if a woman's running her mouth, walk away, whether it means leaving that spot out in the public world or walking out of your house and going, I'm walking out of this house and I'll be back when you're less of a cunt. Whatever. If she's running her mouth, exit yourself from the situation. Don't hit her. I cannot emphasize that enough. However, whether it is your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, your best friend's boo, or some random you've never seen before, if a woman puts hands on you, you have the absolute right to defend yourself. And I am telling you guys, if you're in a relationship where your woman physically strikes you, it needs to be one and done. And that's the rule in my marriage, okay? I love my wife more than anything in this world. She loves me more than anything in this world. Her name for me, I almost never hear my real name. My real name is Bob. When she addresses me, it's either beloved or beautiful one. I know she clearly needs glasses. I know for an ironclad fact, if I ever struck her in anger, because she's told me so in so many words, assuming I didn't die, when I came out of the coma, I would have divorce papers close to hand, and I'd probably be handcuffed to something, because I'd be going from the spot that I hit her to the hospital to jail to divorce court, and she knows it's the same exact way. Ladies, if you don't want to get hit by men, don't hit men. Clear enough? Okay. Have a great rest of the night. I will upload this after I do the next one. And y'all have yourselves a good one. The weekend's coming up. Let's all have a good time. Bye now.